Military footage which is emerging from China. The Chinese have really stepped up their military activity. This is some of the Chinese warships which have been deployed in the region, an amphibious warship which carries helicopters, and also their aircraft carrier, the Shandong. So this is their amphibious warship, a very large amphibious warship which is designed to actually carry hovercraft and other vessels and other platforms which can actually be used to land ships. This is close-in weapon systems and anti-submarine rockets being fired from some of their main warships. So the Chinese have deployed this in the region, but whether this aircraft carrier and this large amphibious transport would actually be utilized in any offensive role, or whether this is all posturing, that remains to be seen. Many would suggest that is essentially posturing. But there's more to this, so a few more images of what the Chinese are actually up to. But before I go on to that, this is actually from Taiwan, and this shows the Chinese, I beg your pardon, the Taiwanese defenses along their maritime frontier. Drones being deployed and launched to keep an eye on what's taking place. The Taiwanese Air Force is a robust air force. It flies US F-16s, French Mirage 2000 aircraft, among others. They develop some of their own weaponry. Surface-to-air missiles, including the American-built Patriot surface-to-air missiles, are in play in their defensive formations, but these are air defense exercises which the Taiwanese have been holding at the same time. Rapid-firing anti-aircraft guns are what you see on your screen at this stage. Meanwhile, in Fujian in China, there has been very heavy movement of Chinese military vehicles, including armored personnel carriers, and you can see also of tanks. Now, this is actually some of the most worrying footage which seems to suggest that China is massing its forces on its own borders. As you can see, Fujian, a modern city, but alongside their expressways and residential areas and office and commercial areas is this deployment of armored personnel carriers moving to the port of Fujian, presumably because there were images there as well. So some stockpiling of armored personnel carriers over there. If China were to invade Taiwan, and that, as I keep mentioning, is still looking quite unlikely, the use of tanks and amphibious vehicles would be paramount, and that there would be an amphibious landing. Whether they'd be successful in that or not is another matter. But many of these armored personnel carriers, in fact all of these that you can see on your screen, are amphibious by themselves, but they would need to be deployed from warships which carry them before they're actually deployed, and then they swim themselves onto beachheads.